The tray and canopy is finally on the cruiser. But right now, it's just an empty box. So today, we're changing that. Today we start fitting the canopy out. In the last episode, we did all the 12 volt power points, the solar, all of that. If you want to check that out, jump back and have a look at that video. But today it's all about putting the fridges in, the drawers, the pantry, all that sort of stuff, and working out how we're going to use this properly, because this is probably the 5th canopy that we've done. So you'd think by now we'd know what we want. I sort of do, but not as much as I thought I would. I do know that I want as much weight in front of the axles as I can. So definitely the big upright fridge will be going right there towards the Voyager on the passenger side. But the rest of it, I'm not entirely sure. I do know on this side, I love the way the 79 canopies are 960 high, so they're a lot taller than anything I've ever had. So the last time when I put drawers in, I found that I didn't have much room up here, but with this one being a lot higher, I do think I'm still going to put drawers in, because we want somewhere to store the camera gear, store our clothes. I'm trying to get all the fridges on the passenger side this time. In the last canopy, we had the drawer fridge here for the beer, and that was fine, but walking all the way around kind of got old pretty quickly. First world problems, I know. So blank canvas. What I love about these XTS trays is they've got tracks in it. So they come with these insert to go into the channel here that you put a nut into. You can just modularly fit anything you want. So the drawers will all go into here. The fridge will go into there. The pantry's the same. So even if I put it in where I think it's going to be good, it doesn't have to ever stay there, because I can move it around as much as I want. Such is the beauty of this system. And it does come, as you would have seen in the first episode when we put the tray and canopy on, it does come with a false floor from factory, so we don't even have to worry about building a false floor. So everything about this build is becoming easier and easier. I'm super impressed as I go along the track with this XTS canopy. Anyway, let's get into the fridges. The XTS fridge cage is designed to fit exactly into this canopy, and my goodness, it's a very, very snug fit, which is exactly what you want. When we whack the Dometic fridge in there, when it opens up, there's literally millimeter to spare, which is what you want. Perfect. That's the fridge cage installed and the fridge. Now, let's just talk about this. This is the XTS fridge cage that they supply, and it is designed for this canopy. It goes along the modular track here, so we can slide it around. I've given myself enough room to still hit the RCD and the Voyager should that ever trip. What I love about this fridge cage is it comes with this drawer underneath. Now, I'm going to use this for cutlery, but I don't know what else you could use it for, but that is one of the reasons I want this fridge cage, was because of that. Most of them just don't have that, and you've got a little bit of room up top, which you can't do anything with. Now, the fridge, this is the Dometic 115 litre upright fridge, which is an absolute massive fridge. I've never had a camping fridge this big before, an upright one. We had the 80 litre Dometics, because in the old canopy, that's all we could get in. But the 960 tall cruiser ones, we could go to this bigger fridge. 3 shelves, 3 door shelves, and a big freezer up there. Now, what I like about these Dometic fridges, this is the second one I've had. As I said, the 81 was really good. They are very frugal on energy. At the minute, with the Voyager, 2.9 amps it's drawing at the minute, just to keep itself in check. This shelf here, you can pull this all the way out, like that. So what you can do now is, this is, depending on what settings you have the fridge at, this is all a fridge or all a freezer. So you can choose what you want to do there, or you can put this in and just have it as a fridge with a freezer on top. Plenty of settings. There's an eco mode. So that's the Dometic 115 litre upright. I absolutely love these things. So that's the fridge in. Next thing is the pantry, also from XTS, which I'm going to put in here. And then I've got to work out what I'm going to do with this bit. I do have the Dometic drawer fridge, which I want to put in somewhere in this side. I'm thinking I'm going to get a drawer of XTS if it fits, and then I'll put the Dometic fridge on top of it, which will still give us a bit of room up here. Because what I want to do, we've got the Stratus table, which I bought it, not sponsored, absolutely love their gear. I'm going to see if I can design some 3D brackets to go up onto these uni struts in the roof to be able to slide the table up into there, and that's where it'll live. And then I want some room here, maybe above the drawer, or to the right of the drawer fridge, maybe for the air fryer. So I'm not sure where I'm going to put stuff yet. And then on the other side is just storage. But the one thing that I cannot let go is our Mud Mods and Beers table. which if you haven't seen the episode where we made this, jump back and have a look, because this was, I think it was about $100. It's one of the best things I've ever done. It did go onto the pins on the old tray, and it probably could go onto the pins in the new tray, which worked really well, but just getting them on and off sometimes, and it was starting to mark the tray a bit, and I don't want to do this to the new tray. I've come up with a solution which I'm actually 3D printing as we speak, so I'll get that done and we'll try it out and see if it works. While the 3D print was doing, I ended up putting in the pantry, and look, this is a very simple exercise. It literally bolts into the floor, 4 bolts, and we are there. This is the 250 wide pantry. Now what I like about this, obviously all the shock cords to keep stuff in, but there's a nice couple of big pockets on the front. I had this on my old pantry, and it's really cool for storing like salt and pepper, oil, all those things that you want to stand up, but there's too much room in the back bit because they'll fall over. All in here, sunscreen, mozzie stuff, all that hoo-ha in there. One-handed operation, which is cool. If you've got stuff, you're not trying to set it down, open it. One-handed operation, it's done. That is the best thing you can do for these things. But apart from that, 3 big adjustable shelves inside. We can move these up and down wherever we want. Not sure where I want them yet. And solid as you like. All right, the drawer systems haven't arrived yet, so while we're waiting, the next thing we have to do is get this awning put up on the roof. Now, this is the tough terrain awning. It's a 270, comes with lights in it. It does come with these brackets, which we're going to mount up onto the roof rack. There's 3 of them to give us nice strength. So we'll bolt these onto the roof rack, and then we'll bolt the awning to it. And then I've got to work out, so I did get provisioned rooftop tent power when we got the Voyager installed. I'm going to use this to use the power for the lights in the awning, and I'm going to see if I can try and work out a more permanent solution than just the cigarette plug that these come with. I'd like something hardwired. It does come with a plethora of mounting options. There's U-bolts, there's channel nuts for roof racks, there's bolts, there's washers. These little ratchet things are brilliant. These are obviously for holding guy ropes out at night time and stuff. Comes with extra poles. There's poles already built into it. The U-bolts are probably my closest thing that would fit, but that's a big chunky boy roof rack, so it's not actually going to fit. So I've been to Bunnings, and I've got the 75mm M10 galvanized black bolts. So they're going to be my answer to fitting this to the roof rack. They will go just through the slots in the mounting brackets. So it's 6 holes into the roof rack, which I've just marked out. So I'll drill those in now. We'll get the brackets on, and then we'll just run the T-slot bolts into the back of the awning, and we'll snick it up and tighten it all up. Let's get our bracket on. I want the front of the bracket just there. Look at that, it even fits. That's a first. So these are, as I say, these are galvanized bolts too, so hopefully they will stand the test of time as well. With the first bracket mounted, we just had to do the same process for the next 2 brackets. Then when it came to mounting the awning, all we had to do was slide the bolts into the channel that will eventually be used to bolt the brackets onto the roof rack. So we had an issue with the awning where the brackets that came with it, which are actually really good brackets, they're really strong, but they just, for the roof rack, this roof rack sits quite far in from the edge of the canopy. So what was happening, and it's a low profile roof rack, which is what I wanted. There's nothing wrong with anything here. It's just the brackets that come with the awning aren't necessarily very good for the roof rack that I ordered from XTS. So tough terrain do heavy duty, bigger adjustable awning bracket, which is these ones. So I got 3 of them. They sent me them out this week. These are just longer. The ones that come with it are very sturdy too. These have just got a bit more adjustment in them. They're a bit longer, so they'll stick out a bit further. And with this plate on here, there's plenty of adjustment on the sides to allow me to go up and down, get the awning where it was, because I can't really undo the zip here that nicely. So what I want to do is just bring it out a little bit further and bring it up, not too high because I want to be able to reach it still, but just so when the canopy door opens, it's not going to hit it, is the plan. So Andy's here this morning, so he's going to help me. We're going to take this awning off and we're going to put these brackets on the roof rack and then put the awning back on again in the correct spot. So with Andy called in to help, he decided the brackets I'd done all wrong and he did them all again and told me how bad I was 100 times. With them done, then we mounted the awning properly. That turned out to be a bit of a mission, more because I'd stuffed the holes up first than anything else to do with the brackets or Andy. It was just, apparently one of them was like 15 mil wrong. Anyway, brackets are all up solid, the awning is on, it's solid and it's a lot higher now. So let's have a go at the door. So that opens beautifully now, which is awesome. It's right up at the top and it's not, I can still get my fingers in there, so that's really good. The world of 3D printing has opened up a whole new world of learning for me. Now, I didn't realize before about a 3D printer, but you can make things for inside, you can make things for anything, but for inside drawers. So this is called Gridfinity, I think I'm right in saying that. So what you do is there's a web program that you just plug in how many grids you want and how wide, how tall, and it kind of just makes it to fit your drawers. I've also printed little corner pieces because bit of a gap at the edge. These are 42 mil across. So you've got 42 mil grids to play with, and then whatever space is at the end, I've just filled up with that. So the idea of this is you just pretty much set these in. Now, you can then design boxes, and there's a gazillion different designs. I've gone simple, so you can choose. You can see in the back here, this is 2 columns wide, but 5 deep. So you see in the middle here, there's grooves. So basically what these do is these just slot in. Let's see if I can make it happen there. So once you get all of in, obviously all these loose pieces will tie together. But the idea is you can fill these all up with whatever size compartment you want to fit whatever size. In this case, this is going to be a cutlery drawer, utensil drawer. So the world's your oyster. So I'm going to get busy printing all of this drawer, and this will be for all of the cutlery and little bits and pieces, potato peelers, tongs, whatever else will go in here. And it'll be all nice and neatly organized. I'm actually really happy with this. So with all the 3D printing done, I jumped on the marketplace and found myself some cracking drawers just down in Yatla, which I went and picked up and installed. Let's get into the drawers. Now, I got these drawers, you saw me install them off marketplace from a bloke down in Yatla. Get Off Grid was his business. He's just brand new. He does Bush Company stuff, rooftop tents, all the accessories, all that. The rooftop tents, the electric, the fancy ones, and a whole bunch of other stuff, 12 volt fit outs. I was yarning to him for about an hour. He's absolutely cracking bloke. And if I need anything, and Andy might need Bush Company gear, I'm down there instead of driving all the way up the sunny coast. Get Off Grid. If I can find his business, I'll pop it in the comments. Anyway, the only thing I don't like about these drawers is you've got to do the two-handed opening. The XTS ones come with the one-handed opening, which we did on our last build, and once you've had the one-handed, you actually never want to go back to this because it's a pain in the bum. It's as easy fix though. Quick trip down to Bunnings for some, what's that, 20 mil by 20 mil by 1.5 angle. I bought 2 lengths, I don't know, 10 or 15 bucks each. Just going to cut this to length, drill a hole through it, a couple of pop rivets in, and all of a sudden we've got one-handed opening. So let's get that done, and these drawers will then be perfect. One-handed drawer opening. What was that? 20 bucks and 10 minutes work. Very, very easy mod, and something I certainly won't be doing without. Anyway, all right, on to the next thing. One of the dramas I've always had with any Canopy is the table. It tends to just slide in at the back, and the old Canopy, the wooden table that I had here slid in the back. Now, I've since bought this Stratus Outdoors one. I did buy this one, but what I wanted to do is try and find somewhere for it that was storage out of the way. And I've always wanted to try and get it into the roof. So I've managed to do it. I think I've printed up and designed and printed these brackets. Now these are going to sit on the roof. and the uni struts, the table's going to slide in between it. And then the two that are on the end, I've actually put walls on the end of these. So when these sit at the end, so they'll go that way. When the table slides in, it's going to hit these and stop. And then at the front, I'm just going to put an eye bolt into one of the uni struts and a little elastic strap. And that should be enough. And hopefully if this works, the table will be up out of the way, which means when you're packing up, you can have everything on the table. So get the sand or the dirt off it, put it in the car, and then the table, wipe it down. It's the last thing to go in. And it can also be the first thing to come out. So it's actually brilliant. I can't wait. I'm really hoping this works. So with the brackets in, this is probably the first test. Let's see if it fits. I hope I've measured it right. Look at that. Then I've got this little bungee coming out here. Ta-da! Table on the roof. Table's up out of the way, taking up no room, and it can go in last and come out first. That's not very many things I design actually work first time they got, and just how I'd imagined it. Pretty happy with myself about that one. We're nearly at the end of the Canopy build today. We're heading up to XTS, back up in Caloundra. One of the drawers that we want has come in, so they're going to whack that in for me. And I bought a spoiler off them a wee while ago that goes on the back. And I went to fit it myself, and look, I'm just not that guy. It's I know me, I know my limitations, and I will just butcher this and I will regret it forever. So I'm going to let them do it. So we're pretty much finished. The table's in, everything that I want to do is done. We'll get this stuff done today at XTS, and we'll have a good look around the Canopy before we start putting all our gear back in it and taking it for a shakedown trip. We are back home and the Canopy is finished. Now, look, everything that I ever wanted in a Canopy is in this Canopy. This is like the 7th build Canopy I've done, and this is by absolute head and shoulders the best. The boys at XTS absolutely have knocked us out of the park. From a build quality perspective, everything I want here. Stormtrooper Voyager is in and complete. The fridge is in with the XTS fridge cage, the XTS pantry, the XTS drawer with a table. I've done my own stuff from Marketplace on the other side, and I've 3D printed a table bracket for up here, and I am ridiculously happy with it. What's impressed me most, not most, but one of the biggest differences for me from building this Canopy after they put it on for me was the Unistrut system inside. You basically can put anything wherever you want. I could take all of this out within about 15 minutes and put new stuff in if I wanted to change it up. So this Canopy is really future-proofed for people like me who change their mind an awful lot of times. The Canopy can stay how it is, but I can change stuff around inside. Nothing is permanent, it's all bolted down and lovely. Right, that is done. So the next time you're gonna see this Canopy, we're gonna get it loaded up with all of our gear, and we've got a trip coming up to the world's largest sand island, Fraser Island, Gary, whatever you wanna call it. We will be there in 3 weeks' time. We're gonna put this absolutely through its paces. So make sure you subscribe, click the bell. I can't wait to get up there and test this out.